Hey everybody, welcome to HeatMyShorts. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of consuming snacks, we're going to be creating snacks. Now I have a family reunion coming up this weekend, and some of them wanted to try a tube of Terra peanut. I just can't put them through that, and I also unfortunately am not able to split up the challenge, otherwise I cannot claim any points for it in the League of Fire. So instead I've found a website online, and I'm going to make 3 different batches of spicy peanuts, a mild, a medium, and a hot. So I'm going to pop around to the other side of the island here, peninsula I suppose, and tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. So, as I said, we're doing 3 rounds. I got a recipe from foodnetwork.com. I will leave a link to that website in the description box down below so that you can follow along on this website as well as follow along on this video if you choose to do so. So I will give you a quick read of the ingredients list here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to preheat the oven right now because our oven takes a while to preheat and I don't want to be waiting for it. We preheat our oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Celsius. Hope you're all having a great day today. Okay, there we go. And that's actually the minimum setting on this oven. And this is actually the second time I've done this recipe. The first time I converted the temperature wrong and overcooked them by a lot. They were quite burnt, but they were still delicious. So I'm really eager to see how they turn out this time. Hop around to the back of the peninsula again. Now, we'll go over the ingredients list that they list on their website here. They list for each round, so I'm doing a triple recipe here. I'm doing this recipe 3 times, and I'm altering it a little bit because of our pepper powders and ingredients. So they list 1 egg white, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of water, 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which we will be substituting pepper powders, as I said, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ancho chili pepper, 2 cups high quality dry roasted unsalted peanuts, and then they list 5 dried chilies for an optional garnish, which we're not going to be doing. We're saving our chilies for in the mix. So, I'll actually go over what we're doing for our 3 separate rounds here. For our mild, we're going to be doing lemon pepper seasoning, ahi crystal peppers from our garden, and jalapeno peppers from Save On Foods. Then for round 2, the medium ones, we're going to be using Sunrise Salt's hot smoked pepper powder, hot smoked pepper salt with garlic, Tex-Mex seasoning, orange habaneros from Save On Foods, and yellow scotch bonnets from our garden. And then on to the hot round. This is where things get interesting. We have Sunrise Salt, hot Italian salt, Pepper North Reaper pepper, just called Reaper Madness, HellGarden's Smoked Electric Funeral, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what peppers are in that, but I did do a review of that separately on the channel already, so you'll have to go check that one out if you'd like. Then we also have Ghost Peppers and Scorpion Peppers from our garden. And from Craig Jennings, we have his red super hot mix and his chocolate super hot mix. And then these are the constant ingredients that go into all 3 of these, which is the sugar, the garlic, the onion, and the cumin. Now I think I added the onion. I just figured onion should be in there. It just seemed right. So anyways, step number 1, preheat the oven. We have that going. Step number 2, this is where I kind of failed on the first try as well, to be honest. Whisk egg white until foamy in a medium bowl. Now, I'm not very good at separating egg whites. I don't buy them separately. We buy dozens of eggs. So I am going to try again to separate some egg yolks. I did this before and I broke the egg yolk and I just ended up using the whole egg because I didn't want to waste it, right? So let's try this again. I'm going to try to crack it into a cup. So I haven't broken it yet. I'm just going to put that back into there. Now, this time I'm going to use, there's my bowl. It's a bowl for the yolk. Some people do this using the two halves of the eggshell. They'll kind of juggle the yolk back and forth between the two halves. I tried that, but the shell broke the yolk. So, if we can get that slime to detach, I think we're good. There we go. Okay, so there is one separated. I did it. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is I'm not sure whether to do them all at once or to, I guess I'll put this one into there. Yeah, that way I don't need to get three cups dirty. So let's try this again. Okay. Hasn't broken yet. Seems to be working okay doing it this way. Better than doing it between the two eggshells. I don't know, I had a tough time doing that. Do you have a preferred way of doing that, or do you just buy the whites and the yolk separately when you do this? Oh, you know what I just did? I should have done this into separate cups. Because, now I put them both into one. I think we can divide that up a bit better. Whoopsies. Told you I'm not a pro at this. This is very weird. It all wants to go together. Came from two separate shells, but now it just wants to be one. Okay. I'd say that's about half. Okay. Let's keep that up there. Cool. This one's being finicky now. Raw eggs are so weird. There we go. Okay, now I'm actually going to take a tiny bit out of this one and put it into that one, because I see that this one's a little bit... There we go. Okay, I'm sweating from that. That makes me nervous. I'm going to wash my hands quickly. To be honest with all of you, I've never worked in a restaurant. I've never taken food safe, none of that stuff. I've cooked at home a lot. Never got myself sick from my own cooking. Pardon me for 1 second, just giving the hands a little wash here. I like to be extra careful when I'm working with eggs. Don't want to get salmonella or chickenella. Hey, I don't know why they call it salmonella. You get it from chicken. Just kidding. I know that's not the same thing. It's not even spelled the same, I know. So, now we have our 3 egg whites separated. So, whisk it into a bowl until foamy. So here's our egg white. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Oh yeah, kind of foamy there, okay. And then we whisk in sugar. Oh, I don't have it pre-measured though. Okay, so sugar. we need a 1/4 cup of sugar. Get these. Actually, I'm going to quickly put these egg yolks into the fridge. Okay. Sorry about that. Now, let's get a 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay. Oh, I'm left-handed. Okay, so there's that. There's the sugar in there. Water. There it is. Water is right there. I had my ingredients list here so that I wouldn't have to look at it every time. Pardon me. It's over here. Okay, I'm going to just leave that right there. So, 1 tablespoon of water. I'm just double checking everything because I'm kind of forgetful. Here's our 1 tablespoon of water. Salt. 1 tablespoon of salt. Dry that off on there. Actually, yeah, so what we're doing for the salt is this. We're using gotta give this a little shake, I guess. A little shaky shake. Looks like it hasn't been used in a while. There we go. Tablespoon of lemon pepper salt. You know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to half and half this with table salt and there we go. So half lemon pepper salt seasoning and half pink Himalayan salt. Then we have 2 teaspoons of cumin. Where is it? One, 2. Cayenne, okay. Cayenne, garlic, and ancho powders. Okay, so for garlic, is what I should be doing actually, is I should be doing a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and a 1/4 teaspoon of, where are we here? Can't even read this thing. 1 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon of each of these, I guess. Something like that. Because we don't want to, when you're substituting ingredients, you don't want to take all of the dry ingredients out or add too many dry ingredients in. You want to make sure that you still have the same ratios of dry to wet ingredients, and that goes for a lot of the different types of ingredients too, in the way that they react with each other. Is you want to make sure that it has the same consistency and cooking properties. So now I'm going to give this all a stir before we deal with our pepper powders. Because our pepper powders still have to be ground up. I should have done that ahead of time, but luckily with the power of editing, we can make this go a lot quicker. Okay, so what we want here is a teaspoon of the hot one and a 1/2 teaspoon of the other one, and that's going to be hard to. I'm going to move this aside. Actually, that's going to be hard to estimate because we're going to be dealing with dehydrated peppers that we're going to be grinding up here with our mortar and pestle. So, I'm going to say we're going to go twice as much jalapenos as ahi peppers, ahi crystals. We might end up with more powder than we want here. We might end up with less, but luckily these peppers are not very hot. Oh, hello, Maggie. It's getting warm in here. I actually turned down the AC when I started. It's because it's loud, but now I'm kind of regretting that. The air conditioner is right behind the tripod, so when it kicks on, it's going to be kind of hard to hear me. Now, if you have an electric grinder, this will go a lot faster. And that's pretty nicely ground now, so what I'm going to do, let's see, we want a teaspoon. Where's our teaspoon? I lost it. Bet you it's right in front of my face, too. Maggie, where'd you put the teaspoon? Okay, well, luckily we have another one here. Here it is. So a teaspoon of this. Our jalapeno pepper in there. And you know what? There's just a little bit more than that in there, so I'm just going to throw it all in there. Put a teaspoon and a half in there. Luckily the jalapenos are not very spicy. So now we'll put some ají crystals in there. And these are not very hot either. These are even more mellow than a jalapeno. They're more of a flavor pepper. They have a very citrusy, lemony citrusy flavor to them, and less heat. Yeah, less heat than a jalapeno. Maybe about equal, actually. Maybe a little bit less than a jalapeno, but definitely less than a habanero. Definitely less. I'm pretty excited about these ones. Actually, I'm pretty excited about all three of these. These are going to be really good. I'm sure of it. Oh, that smells so good. I'm going to have to show you this. Look at that. Actually, it doesn't do it justice. Hopefully it does on the computer. So, dump that into here. Boom. Oh, I didn't even measure it. Whoopsie daisies. Oh well. Smells good. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not smelling much of either of those peppers. Basically, all I'm smelling in here is garlic, onion, and cumin. So, now, what we do is I'm going to do first I'm going to do, before I start battering the peanuts, I am going to mix up all three of these just so that, just so it's all done. Just so we're all good to go. Get these out of the way. I see what I've done here now. I put the egg yolk straight into that bowl, which is this one here. So this is a yolk. That's why it was so out of whack. You're going to catch that on the video, I'm sure. But I totally did that wrong. That's what I was doing. Yeah, that's why I don't do this for a living. Okay. So now I'm going to mix up the batter for the medium and the hot peanuts. But I'll just show you when those are done. You don't want to watch me mix those all together. Okay, so we've got all 3 bowls of batter mixed up for the peanuts. Now, mild, medium, and hot. So here's our 3 bowls of peanuts here. There's 2 cups of peanuts in each one of these bowls. So we'll start with the mild ones. We'll just dump them right into there. Really hoping that the citrusy notes from that ají crystal peppers come through on there. Now, what we want to do is grab our cookie sheet. Now you can either grease your sheet or you can just put parchment paper on it. We've gone with the parchment paper technique. and pre-cut it so you don't have to watch me struggle with a pair of scissors and cut a piece of paper. I guess I can pour it this way so you can see what I'm doing. See, here's me getting better at this stuff already. Who knows, if this isn't too much of a train wreck, maybe we'll even do a second, another cooking video of some sort. I don't know. Okay. So I'm just going to put this in here. Yep. Guess I could use my hands a little bit. I did clean them, of course, right before I started filming this. Just hoping I could do this without getting greasy hands, but come on, we're cooking here. What fun is it if you're not making a mess? And the trick here is to spread them out on the cookie sheet in a thin layer, like don't stack them on top of each other. You want to make sure they're all getting cooked at once. And nothing hiding underneath the other peanuts, you know? Single layer. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. Now, before I move this, I'm going to go wash my hands. Alrighty. So there is the mild. Pardon me. I'm going to call it a pepper bird. I'm not eating any spicy things, but it's me. Now, oh, getting ahead of myself here. And I'm not going to cook them, I'm going to cook them, I don't have room in the oven to cook all three of these batches at once, so I'm going to have to do the first two. I'm just going to get my hands in there. Have to do the first two, and then do one more, I guess. It's unfortunate having to run the oven for so long this time of year. Your air conditioner will be struggling with that, but that is okay. Whew. Now this one is the Tex-Mex ones. It smells very much Tex-Mex. Wash my hands again. Lots of hand washing in this. Partly because I strongly dislike having dirty hands. If I have, if my hands are covered in any sort of a slime or goo or anything for more than a couple of minutes, it starts to really drive my anxiety up. Are you the same way? Is that just me? So now we want to spread these ones out onto the second cookie sheet. Now I will use this same spatula to scoop these out of here. It is sort of cross-pollinating the sauces, but it's so minor that it won't be an issue. And we're not mixing the hot sauces with the mild sauces. I won't do that, because I don't want to make the mild ones spicier. If anything, we just made the spicy ones a little bit less mild. But that's not the case. That's not how it works either. It's going to be so minor, a little bit of sauce cross-pollination. We won't even notice it. We're not professionals here. Okay, I'm happy with that. Give my hands a wash. Hang this cloth back up, bringing it with me. So, here is, we're gonna go move these over to the oven now. I'm going to read the next instructions first, so we're clear on what we're doing here. I'm going to read step 3. I didn't actually read it to you. Spray a sheet pan with non-stick cooking spray or line with parchment. We went with parchment. Spread nuts out on the prepared pan in a single layer. Okay, now is what we do is cook for 45 minutes until slightly golden, turning nuts with a spatula every 15 minutes. Sorry, every 15 minutes, so they toast evenly and don't stick. Okay, so now we'll bring them over to the oven here. I'll bring them this far, and And then we'll have to reposition this camera, I guess. Whoopsie daisy. Over to the oven. That's an oven. Everybody's seen an oven. Or maybe you haven't. Maybe you've never seen an oven. Okay. Show you what's going on in there. There's our two racks. Our mild and medium going in now. So I'm actually should get my timer right now. Grab my phone and do 15-minute timers. Oh, I'm not even in the frame. There's my 15-minute timer. We'll come back in 15 minutes and give them a flip, check them and see how they're looking. Okay, well there's our first 15 minutes. Should we take a look and see how they look? Give them a little flip? I think so. Don't forget your oven mitts. And also, when you open the oven, make sure that you stand back a little bit, crack it a little bit first, let some of that hot air escape. We're cooking at a low temperature today, but still, you don't want to get blasted in the face with heat. So, let's see what we have going on here. Now, they don't look that much different. They look like they have dried quite a bit. I guess I may as well pull these ones out right now, too. Oh yeah, they've definitely dried up a little bit for sure. So, you want to flip them over and make sure that they're not sticking. Oh, look who's coming over to say hello. Now we're cooking low temperature, so it's not that hot. Like I said, I can pick them up with my hands. Just give you a quick look at those. Those were the mild, and these are the mediums. Now I won't bore you with watching me flip every single one of them. Gave a few of them a flip there just for demonstrations purposes, and I'm going to flip the rest of them. Alright, milds and the mediums have been flipped over once, and they are all ready to go back in for another 15 minutes. Now you know what, actually, I'm going to switch them this time. Last time I had the milds on the bottom. This time I'm going to put the milds on the top, just to even out the temperatures. You know, ovens are different temperatures on the tops and the bottom. Very minor difference, but that's what we're doing here. We're being scientific about this today. So I'm going to put another 15 minutes on the timer, and we will check back with you soon. Our 15-minute timer just went off, so let's open it up and take a look and flip them for a second time here. There's the mild ones, the jalapeno and ají crystal ones. And here's the mediums, the habanero and scotch bonnet ones. Close this up. Now I actually found a better way, well I don't know about a better way, but instead of flipping every peanut over, the last time after I shut the camera off, I found a good way to flip them is actually just to scrape them across in little bits like this. Just kind of move them back and forth and then flip them back over on each other. Now you can see all the juice there. There's still quite a bit of juice in the bottom there. I guess more like a batter, but no, more like a juice. More like a sauce, that's the word we're looking for. Now, again, I'm not going to bore you with showing you how I flip the entire batch. I just wanted to show you my little pull across technique that made it a little bit easier when I turned the camera off. So I'm going to finish flipping these two, and then I'll get back to you before we stick them back in the oven. And they're all flipped and ready to go back in for their final round in the oven. Set another 15-minute timer. Well, that's something else. Another thing I want to mention, a trick that I learned from my mother actually about baking and cooking. As you're doing your baking and cooking, if you have stuff in the oven, that is the perfect time to take care of your dishes. If we pan over here, I've already cleaned up all of my dishes. Those ones right there are clean. Those are dry, and I just can't get into that cupboard because my paddleboard is sitting on the cupboard that it goes in. But other than that, dishes are done. I just have to put my spices away, but I just kind of have them out because I might want to take a picture of them when they're all done. We'll see how it goes anyways. But everything's basically cleaned up. I'm just waiting for them to be finished. And then actually that is the super hot, the hottest round that it still hasn't even started because we only have room in the oven for 2 trays, unfortunately. So we'll do those ones separately off camera. We won't do a video about those ones. It's the exact same thing, but you'll see it twice instead of 3 times. So I'm sure you're fine with that. But I'm sure we'll probably be able to do a review video of these peanuts up at the ranch this weekend because that's why I'm cooking them. I'm cooking them for the purpose of bringing them up to the family reunion this weekend. I am super stoked about that. I can't wait to see all of my family. I'm so excited about that. So I'm gonna turn this thing off again. We have our 15 minutes timer set, and then we'll check back when we pull them out, and they should be done. Alrighty, our timer just went off, so why don't we open up the oven and see what they look like in there. Stand back a little bit. I am stoked about these. I don't know whether to try them when they're ready or to keep it a surprise. There's the mild jalapeno ají crystal ones. And there's the medium habanero Scotch bonnet ones. Now, where did our spatula go? There it is. Gave it a wash off in between. Oh no, I didn't give it a wash off. My apology, I am unprepared here. I had all that time in between, and you know what I was doing? Instead of double checking everything, I was watching Johnny Smallpepper videos. Have you ever seen Johnny Smallpepper's channel? He's a really great channel. He was talking a little bit about the disappearing comment phenomenon that's going on basically all social media platforms right now. He addressed that, and he did a shout out video as well. Okay. I almost want to say that these could use a little bit longer in the oven there. They're getting very close. But I think they could use a little bit longer in there. So I think I'm going to flip them all and give them another 15 minutes in there. Hope you don't mind. And back in they go for one more round. This will be the last round for sure. See you in 15 minutes. Alright, timer just went off and I'm taking them out for good this time, so let's see what they look like. I mean, I'll be honest, they look about the same still. They smell so good, but they look less sticky. Like the sugar on them kind of gave them a sticky kind of a coating. And they just look less wet now. They look more cooked. But they do have a good glisten to them still. So, I am going to, actually I'm not prepared here. I was actually watching heavy metal DVD in between rounds. We'll call it rounds this time, cooking rounds this time. The fourth step in this cooking process of this recipe is to set the nuts aside, stirring periodically as they cool down. When completely cool, transfer to a serving bowl and garnish with dried chilies if desired. We're not going to do that. We're not going to garnish. I mean, I guess we have some cayennes and things, but we're probably going to bring them up to the reunion in jars, so the dried chilies would just get mashed around in that jar anyways. So we're going to put them into a bowl now. And this is actually the super hot ones that you're seeing here. These ones haven't been cooked at all. you can see the difference. Those ones are still very wet looking. So I think I'm going to transfer these into bowls now, and then I'll check back with you when they're cooled down, and we'll wrap the video up. Alrighty, well, we got the round 1 and round 2, or mild and medium peanuts, into their 2 bowls here. Hold them this way. These are the mild ahi, crystal, and jalapeno lemon pepper flavored peanuts, and these are the medium Scotch bonnet and habanero and Tex-Mex flavored peanuts. Now they smell and look delicious. They're still a little bit tacky, but I am supposed to be giving them some time in the bowls, kind of shift them around and, you know, keep mixing them up as they dry and cool down. So I think at this point I'm going to stop this portion of the video, and then I'm going to get the spicy ones in the oven, and I'm probably not going to film any portion of that, so I think this will pretty much be the end of this video. The next portion of the video will be when you see us eat them at the family reunion. So I hope this video has been helpful. It's been an experience for me, and I've had a lot of fun creating this. So I will, of course, as I said earlier, leave a link to the website where I found this recipe so that you can make this yourself if you don't want to follow along with this video. So until next time, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This has been a cooking show episode with Heat My Shorts. Maggie's actually sleeping, so we won't get to see her on the outro here. Have a good day, everyone. I love you all. Bye-bye.